and and ah and 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 it's the daily go get a mism show. You think it ain't when it is? Uh, you think it won't when it whiz? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting. Everything is going to be all right. We're talking about the Fifth Amendment tonight. The Fifth Amendment, your personal Fifth Amendment. What do you know about your personal Fifth Amendment? Now, if you are a legal eagle, or if you've ever been to court, or if you've ever hired a lawyer, you know that the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution of the United States is your right to remain silent. You do not have to speak. As a matter of fact, you know from watching old cop shows on TV when people get arrested and they read them their Miranda rights at the time of the arrest. You know that you know that doesn't happen in real life, but in the movies and on TV it does. You have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You know, you don't hear those Miranda rights until you actually are charged and booked with a crime. A crime. Other than that, you're not even being detained. Wait a minute. Let me see something here because I don't see my meter. I don't see my meter running. Like, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Let's get that established before we go any further. Go any further. Go any further. Can you hear? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I don't see that meter. I don't see that metering. So can y'all hear me? Please let me know. Speak, so I'll know whether to keep going or not. Do we need to scrap this whole this whole can y'all hear me? Is anybody out there? Do we need to scrap this whole project? Or do we keep going? Okay, y'all can hear me. Thank you. Woo, between the delay and y'all chilling in the background, like I let somebody else say they can hear them. I'm too busy listening to be. I don't. Thanks, Emily Dunlap is in the house. Bow, about to turn it out. I said bow, about to turn it out. All right. So you know the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution of the United States is your right to remain silent. So you don't have to speak if you don't want to, but you don't only not have to speak to legal authorities or to law enforcement. You don't have to speak to anybody. You don't have to speak to anybody. You don't have to speak to your mama or your daddy or your sisters or your brothers or your aunties or your cousins or your uncles or your grandparents or your friends or anybody. You can keep your mouth shut about a lot of things. And a lot of times we talk about people keeping their mouth shut. We talk about people minding their business. And we really only talk about them keeping their mouth shut and minding their business on our own terms. We want people to shut up, but we want them to shut up on our own terms. When we want them to tell us something about them or tell us about something that they know, we don't want them to invoke their Fifth Amendment. We want them to speak. Talk. We want them to speak. You know, and in things in times that will keep us out of trouble, we want people to speak up for us. We don't want them to invoke their Fifth Amendment. We don't want them to remain silent. We want them to say, no, such and such is good people. We even want them to lie sometimes, not just speak up for us, but in times when they may know some incriminating things about us. We don't want them to keep that. We don't want them to tell that. You know, we might want them to tell us. We might want them to tell the other stuff, the good things that overshadow all of the bad stuff. In other words, yeah, I need you to tell them that I'm a good man, that I take care of my family, that I'm responsible, that I go to work, and that I care. Don't tell them that I hang around with people and may have been on the scene when a crime was committed and make me look like an accomplice. So I need you to use some discretion on your right to remain silent. In other words, your Fifth Amendment is welcome and unwelcome here at the same time. And when we say your personal Fifth Amendment, when we talk about something being your personal Fifth Amendment, we are talking about things that pertain or that relate to you personally. Personally, just you. So a concept that most of us can relate to, even if we don't follow it, is that best friends tell each other everything. How many of y'all have said that to your best friend or have had your best friend tell you that? I'm going to tell you something about when somebody tells you that best friends tell each other everything. I'm going to tell you something that comes to people's mind when you say or when they hear best friends tell each other everything. First of all, that means that your best friend is being nosy right now. They want you to tell something that you ain't been telling or that you don't know that they suspect that you do know. That's number one. No Fifth Amendment being exercised here or welcomed here. The other thing is they're also letting you know that they expect full transparency from you. Full transparency. That'll have you thinking two things. First of all, it'll have you wondering if the person telling you this or asking you this or making this declaration is actually your best friend. Because it might, you might be thinking like, yeah, best friends do tell each other everything. In the movies and on TV, you're right. Every time I hear best friends tell each other everything, I think about two white girls in a movie or on TV. Because that's where I got it from in the first place. Best friends tell each other everything. I ain't never heard no niggas say that shit. I ain't never heard no men tell each other say that shit to each other. Have you? I haven't. I'll tell you another place I've heard it. You may have heard that, and I've definitely heard that in romantic relationships. Your girl expects you to tell her everything, and she will let you know that she tells you everything. Sometimes she might even regret it. Like, I be keeping secrets. I don't be telling nobody. I be keeping secrets. I don't be telling nobody. I seen a lot of shit, and I don't be telling nobody, especially about the way that I grew up. For some reason, I be telling you everything. For some reason, I be telling you everything. For some reason, I be telling you everything. I be telling you everything. Your girl might expect you to tell her everything, and she might feel like she tells you everything, and don't even really want to. But whenever I hear best friends tell each other everything, my first vision is two white girls in a movie or on TV, because they be talking like that. 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 Talking like that. Had to transform it, y'all. T Carrie, right? Morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. And Carol Chamberlain, me friend, me favorita. Thanks for coming on through. It's always good to see you. And Emily Dunlap is in the house. Bow! She about to turn it out. And Stacey White, thanks for coming on through tonight. And I hope that everything is really all right. And Mia Cunningham, goddamn, thanks for coming on through. Always a good thing to see you. So What we talking about? Your personal Fifth Amendment. And by the way, do best friends tell each other everything? Think about the best friends that you've had in your life. Do you tell them everything? Or do you exercise the Fifth Amendment when you feel like exercising the Fifth Amendment? I know I do. I ain't telling nobody everything. I don't even be remembering everything. I ain't gonna lie. I don't be remembering everything. And everything. Listen, man. First of all, I don't know who lives their lives to learn something just so they can tell everybody. I know I share a lot of information, but I can't expect everybody to do what I do. I mean, I have this platform, so I know I share more than most people share in a way that most people would not do it. But that's a whole different situation. But do best friends tell each other everything? What do y'all say to that? Like all of y'all have probably had a best friend at some point in your lives, even if you don't have a person that you consider to be your best friend now. But when you have had a best friend, did you tell them everything? Or did you tell them a lot? You know, you left a little bit in the tank. Shoot, I don't think that being a best friend is a reason to divulge everything about yourself. Can we just be friends without sharing all our information? Maybe it's the sharing information part is not, maybe that's not the part that made us best friends. Maybe we're just kindred spirits in other ways. I ain't gotta tell you everything. I tell you what is a good thing to do. If you know you're the type of person that goes on secret missions, it's a good thing to let somebody know where you're going. Real shit. We was talking about Carly Russell yesterday. And we don't know if she told anybody about her little tryst that happened last week. We don't know. But more than likely she told somebody. Because people who do dirt don't normally keep it all to themselves. That's how they get caught all the time. You know what I mean? Somebody get to talking. They get to running their mouth. They get to talking. And that's one of the reasons why people exercise their right to remain silent. That's why I ain't tell you shit, because you can't hold water, nigga. That's why I don't be telling you nothing. I don't even be telling you the stuff that you witness. If you seen me do it, I ain't explaining it to you. Because hopefully you got it all fucked up. But you be running your mouth too much. You be pillow talking. You know, men be pillow talking. They be laid up with their girl and they be telling everything. Telling all their little gangster stories and secrets. Yeah, such and such did murk such and such. So when you see it on the news, you know what it is. But make sure you don't tell nobody, because shit, that body will, telling somebody will make more bodies. So you know what I mean. So a lot of times people transfer the weight of their stress onto other people by making them keep the same secrets that they've been keeping. But you've exercised your right to remain silent. You don't have to tell on nobody if you don't want to. You don't have to share information if you don't want to. You don't have to snitch if you don't want to. Those are choices that you make. But just understand that when you make it, you've made it. But you do have this legal defense of the Fifth Amendment. And I've always wondered what would happen if a person who committed a crime actually decided not to speak to anybody, including their lawyer. How would you handle that? How would that get handled? That probably wouldn't be a great thing, because whatever eyewitness accounts or any video surveillance or any type of evidence against you would have to be presented. And since you would not even allow your lawyer to have information that would help to exonerate you and acquit you, it might not go right. But you don't have to speak. So people who get arrested, they really should keep their mouth shut. But you know, so it's funny because The citizen or the suspect has the right to remain silent. They have the right not to say anything. And I mean nothing. They can just show their ID and leave it at that. Thank you, Carol Chamberlain. She says she sent me a super chat just because she hopes this video is monetized. Thank you. You know, YouTube been giving me crazy, giving me flack. You know that video last night, the Carly Russell video. You know they flagged that immediately. I'm like, damn, y'all, this what we doing? That's what we doing. That's what we doing. Out the gate, they like, we'll flag it, you appeal it, and we'll take it from there. Anyway, yeah, you don't have to tell the authorities anything. You can just hand them your ID, and that's all they have. But see, the Fifth Amendment says that you have the right to remain silent, but it also gives the police the right to lie to you in order to get a confession from you. So that's how they do the divide and conquering thing all the time. So you and your accomplice get arrested, and they tell you that your accomplice has already told on you, and they already gave you up, and God forbid that they have some type of evidence. You know, they have some kind of knowledge of the crime that y'all committed together. So they tell you that your co-D or your accomplice already told on you, and that's supposed to get you to tell on them. And you're thinking that all you have to do is tell on them, and you get to go home, especially if you really didn't do anything. Now, you might be thinking in your mind, like, I really didn't do it, but I know he did do it, and I saw him do it, but I ain't do it. But he already trying to make it seem like I did it, so he already sold me out. So all I got to do is tell the truth. And you fuck around and tell the cops what really happened, and then you wind up not going home anyway. Because they wasn't there, and they didn't see it, and so they don't know if you're telling on him and telling the truth, or he's telling on you and telling the truth. Meanwhile, your co-defendant, now he's a co-defendant, but your accomplice never told on you. But the cops have the right to lie to you and tell you that your accomplice told on you in order to get you to tell on them. And that's perfectly legal. Where's the Fifth Amendment? Where does that apply for them? It's totally legal. That's why people be recanting confessions and all of that. Like, they told me that my man told on me. And I knew I didn't do shit, and I knew, he was involved, but I wasn't going to tell on him. But I figured if he was getting me, that's why it's good to just invoke your Fifth Amendment, because what the cops cannot do is legally lie on paper and say that someone confessed when they didn't. That's why when you give a confession, you have to write it down, because other than that, even if it's on video, it's your word against theirs. They have to get a signed confession from you. Tell us what happened. Tell me if you've both robbed a store. Tell me, did you take the cash from that store? Did you take the cash? All right. Let me see what y'all talking about, since I see that y'all starting to speak, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. All right. TK right says, I can literally tell my childhood bestie anything and everything. I don't, because certain things should be private no matter what. Fifth Amendment shit. Stacey White says, my best friend don't know everything, or you don't tell him everything. I don't know. Some words missing there. Mia says, facts, Taki. Some things have to stay with you, yourself, and only you. Yeah, I feel that. Stacey White says, it's levels to this. Man, is it? Definitely, definitely. Mia says, I've had to learn the hard way to keep some things to myself. I can dig it. There's nothing worse than divulging information and immediately feeling like, why the fuck? And it's not even always because you think that somebody is going to run and tell what you said. Sometimes it's just that you know that you haven't processed it for yourself. You haven't gotten it together. But I'll say this: when you tell something, you've relieved yourself of a heavy weight that you've been dragging around. So even though you're beating yourself up about letting it out or giving it the potential to be used against you, think about it. Most of the stuff that you try to keep a secret ain't even a secret. Most of the things that you try to keep secret ain't even a secret. You try to keep things a secret like the way you feel about things. So, like maybe you love somebody. You don't want nobody to know that you soft. First of all, loving somebody doesn't make you soft. But you might feel like it does. And that could be because you don't think that person feels the same way about you. So you don't want to be the first one. You don't want to be the first. You don't want to be the first one to fall in love. You don't want to be the first one to be vulnerable. Yeah. Other things we keep to ourselves that really don't even have anything to do with us. So we keep the Fifth Amendment about the things that have happened in our family, whether they happen directly to us or whether they happen to other family members. So we protect our family members by keeping it a secret. And a lot of times those family members don't give a shit about keeping things a secret, because if they cared about keeping things a secret, they wouldn't keep doing the dumb shit that they keep doing. So you keep it a secret because you don't want people to look at your people all sideways. So you've been exercising the Fifth Amendment about your peoples, to protect them, and they don't even give a fuck. Your brother your brother's a 5-time felon. He done been locked up, parole violations, all that old shit. Can't stay his ass home for shit. Since the time he went to jail when he was 15, 16 years old, he spent most of his life in jail. He ain't been home on the streets more than 2 or 3 years. Those are just facts. He can't keep, it ain't no secret. Here it is. You trying to keep that on the low because you don't want somebody that you just met to look at your people like you come from a family of criminals. Meanwhile, the state is like, this is public information. You want to plug them motherfuckers in Google, and they whole rap sheet come up. Yeah, guess what? He or she comes from a family of criminals. But guess what? He or she is not a criminal. But their brothers are, and their sisters are. The brothers are violent. They keep getting in violent crimes. They sell drugs, and they shoot people, and they protect people who shot people, and they set people up, and they RICO all day on these motherfuckers. They just a bunch of gangsters, and you know what I mean, and they can't stay out of trouble. But the women in his family, the women in his or her family, yeah, they're a bunch of scammers. That's what they do. They're a bunch of scammers. They always either they carrying drugs for somebody, or they doing credit card scams, or they involved in some type of criminal ring. RICO is their name. But you don't want your new man to know that. You don't want your new man to think that about you. So you've been exercising your Fifth Amendment. You ain't keeping it real with your dude. But that's your right. That's your right. And you've been exercising that right to protect yourself and your feelings. You don't want people looking at your peoples like they not good peoples. And sometimes they ain't. So we hold secrets in that ain't even our secrets. I mean, honestly, most of the I can't speak for everybody, but I'm going to say from the people that I know, most of the secrets that they keep aren't even theirs. It's somebody else's. They looking out for somebody else. They trying to hold somebody else down. Now, are those people even holding themselves down? I don't know. They might be holding themselves back, but they ain't holding themselves down. All right. Make sure y'all hit the like button, y'all. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this is the Daily Go Get a Mism Show. I'm your host, Son752, and this is your personal Fifth Amendment. Your right to speak or your right to remain silent. People keep trying to take away your right to remain silent. They want to know. I asked you a question, Omar. Oh, I asked you a question. Can you just tell me the answer? Yeah, I might, and I might not. It depends on how you ask and who you are. Yeah, because I'm stubborn like that. So, what was the question again? Because I don't remember. Wow. But it is your right. It is your right. TK Right says, oddly, I share tons with you all. Well, one of the things about when you tell people things about yourself, more than likely you've gotten to a place where you can tell people things about yourself because you've unpacked them. You can't tell people things that you haven't unpacked. You haven't resolved them. Once you've resolved things in your life, you have freed yourself of handcuffs. Really, you literally taken the handcuffs off of yourself, because now other people can't handcuff you. They can't gag and bound you with the things that they know about you. So every time you're able to reconcile some turmoil within yourself, every time you're ready to let a secret be a revelation, or more so, I mean, I can use the word revelation, but that's not really what I want to say. I want to say something that's symbolic of freeing you. I need an adjective that describes when you have taken some of the weight of the world off of your shoulders, and now you're ready to deal with the other things that may be keeping you down, like a sandbag does a hot air balloon. You know, they use sandbags to keep down hot air balloons. When the air balloon is ready to fly, they release the sandbags. Now the hot air balloon can float up in the sky and y'all can have some fun. But until then, the sandbags are what's weighing it down. It's keeping it from being able to rise to the sky. And you probably have plenty of things in your life, in your mental, that are weighing you down and keeping you from rising to the top. And they are literally doing that. But it's your right to remain silent, baby. You ain't got to tell nobody nothing. You know, sometimes we get on our arrogant shit anyway and be like, yo, you figure it the fuck out since you know everything. You figure it out. I ain't going to tell you. You tell me. Tell me everything that happened, Smarty Pants, Columbo, Matlock. You tell me. Mia says, when younger, yes, besties tell everything. And you get, as you get older, you keep some things to yourself. Yeah, because those experiences start to be more serious and more incriminating. Not just incriminating to the authorities. They may have nothing to do with you breaking any laws. But that's why we say the personal Fifth Amendment, because it's our personal laws that are being violated. You don't want to violate your personal laws, baby. Carol says they flagged a lot of them. I think you did get a chance to look at what I sent you. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I did. TK Right says, isn't that something, Mia? That's why I thought it was funny that everyone wanted Darius, Kiki's baby daddy, to not say anything online when they both do, and so do 90% of their fans. Mm. Shirley Shirl, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Shirley Shirl, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. What's going on, ma? Good to see me some you. Good to see you some you. Stacey White says, I never forget the Tubies, or should I say the Tubbies interview that I had, and my best friend went down there and got that interview and got their job from me. Oh, what you talking about, Willis? Stacey White says, it's like you're the only one in your family that's not a heathen. Oh, woo. You do have a right to be a heathen, though. Mia says, facts, Taki. People went friends and family and complete strangers. They want people want family and friends. I mean, friends and family and complete strangers to know everything. I mean, to know when they went on vacation, in the hospital, bought a new house, new mate, committed a crime, broke up, got back together, shaking my head. Yeah, I can do. I can do. I can do. Emily says, Omar, you like Reverend Mo Money? Yeah, so you say that they gave you cheese and crackers. They give you like the Ritz cracker. Yeah, that shit crazy. But yeah, your personal Fifth Amendment. Your personal Fifth Amendment. What's that about? What's that about? You know, the Fifth Amendment on your own terms. I want you to speak when I need you to speak to me. I need you to shut up when I need you to shut up. Personal Fifth Amendment. The right to remain silent. So best friends expect best friends to tell each other everything. But what exactly does everything mean? Does that mean everything that you want to know or everything that you need to know? Is there a difference? Is there a difference between your personal needs and wants as far as information is concerned? Is there a difference? Is there a difference? Is there a difference? Maybe so, maybe not, maybe so, maybe not. We'll see. Yeah, your personal Fifth Amendment. I don't know. I share a lot of shit. I don't mind. But there's still tons of shit that I don't tell nobody. But I bet you this, I always tell somebody. So like I was talking about Carly Russell, I know that she probably told somebody that she thought that she could trust, or that she knew that she could trust exactly where she was really going. Because, you know, if you're the type of person that goes on secret missions, you know what I mean, something can really happen to you, and then nobody knows where to find you when you're in deep, deep trouble. But they'll find the body somewhere, and now they got to piece together the chain of events that led to your demise. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So from all the way back in the early 2000s, me and my baby brother had a pact. Like, if we go on secret missions, you know, back then it was all about if we met a new girl, went to go see a new girl, or even if we went to go buy something from somebody on another part of town, I would let them know, like, listen, I'm on my way. This is the address that I'm going to. So if anything happened or whatever, you know where I went. But he would be the only one that I would tell. So if I went somewhere in Jersey, Jersey, Delaware, New York, or something like that, I would let him know, like, listen, this is where I'm going. So, because I mean, listen, I ain't really never dealt with no grimy ass females that would set a nigga up. But I've always been the type of nigga that could have gotten set up. I always wore jewelry anywhere I went. You know, I'm getting my shine on. You know, like I'm coming through looking like I'm a somebody. I always did that. So I mean, you just never know. Now, it wasn't like I was messing with chicks up in the projects, and I'm not saying that all chicks in the projects be setting niggas up, but they do. A lot of them do. And even if they didn't set you up, other dudes in the projects set niggas up. Oh, they see that. He pulled up in the parking lot like he good here. Okay, he good here, all right. And so are we. We good here. Everybody's good. So I make sure my baby brother knew where I was going. Shoot, even if I ain't been on a mission in years and years and years, for real. But even if I did now, he all the way in North Carolina, I'm like, listen, Smoke, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm going. Blah, 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 blah. He'd be like, yo, good looking. Oh, all right. So look, I'm gonna call you later on and make sure that you either still there or that you made it back from there. Blah, blah, blah. We keep it like that. So, going on secret missions for whatever personal matter that you're going on still is like exercising your Fifth Amendment, because you don't have to tell nobody where you're going. But years ago, my young boy, and I knew him since 85, and he was my young boy. Jeff had to be, I want to say like a good 6 or 7, maybe even 8 years younger than me. He was a young boy. And as he got older, he started selling drugs. His whole family, they was about that life. His whole family sold drugs. They was keeping it a buck. And he got into it, and he was starting to rise on his own. He was starting to ascend on his own, and he's starting to, he had kids. He had his girl, and they was real close. But he went on a mission. He went on a mission to, it was a business mission. And I don't know if Jeff told anybody where he was going. I know he told somebody that he had an appointment over where he went. I believe it was over in Jersey. And to make a long story short, they found him in the trunk of his car. 2003, I believe. Something like that. So, I don't know if even telling somebody where he was going could have saved him. But I'll never forget walking down the street and seeing posters of him, people asking had they seen him. So that kind of let me know that he probably didn't share his location. He exercised his Fifth Amendment as far as that mission that he went on. And there was a whole lot of grimy stuff that came along with that. It's use your imagination, other people involved, and it's drugs. It's the drug game. This ain't hard to figure out. Now, had he not invoked his Fifth Amendment, had he, I don't know, told his girl at least where he went, I don't know if she could have protected him. But we probably would have known where to go to at least find the suspects, because I don't know if they ever made an arrest where he was concerned. It got real dirty afterwards. It did. It got real dirty. Rest in peace to Jeff. He was a good dude. Yes, he was. And trust me, I'm exercising my Fifth Amendment right now, because this is street shit I'm talking about. So I'll tell y'all all of the public information type shit, but there's some other shit that I've heard, and yeah. That's all I have to say about that. That's all I have to say about that. Carol says, trust and believe she told someone. You know she did. Because the reason that you know that she didn't exercise her Fifth Amendment is because she's sloppy. She's sloppy. But you know, that's what being young is about. But I'm like, Carol, you know, I saw the the $500,000 house and all this shit. Don't look like her people's got a couple of dollars. She drives a Benz. She got a red Benz. I'm like, okay. Oh, well. Well. Well, wiggity, well. But yeah. So, yeah, yeah, like I said, I'm exercising my Fifth Amendment about that situation. But it has me thinking, like, I've been in so many situations that y'all think I be telling y'all everything. Some of y'all do. But I don't even think I have the ability to do it. I be forgetting more shit than I be telling. I be like, damn. I sit here in front of this camera and this microphone, and then y'all be making me remember shit that I didn't. Pew, pew, pew. Because you don't need everything. You don't need everything. A lot of times we carry baggage that we don't need. And hopefully the time comes when that baggage is not even on you anymore. You've been able to store some of the baggage. Like, let me put some of this shit in this storage locker across town. I can put some of this shit in this storage bin that I got in the basement or up in the attic, out in the garage or something. I ain't gotta carry all this shit around. It's weighing me down from being able to walk or run or even escape. Carol Chamberlain says, me too. Me too. Carol says, yeah, and she didn't know if it was a sedan or an SUV. I know, right? I'm like, okay, all right. Sedan, SUV. It must have been a station wagon. I mean, that could be confusing, right? A station wagon is sort of like an SUV, right? Right. Maybe it was like a Dodge Magnum. Is it a station wagon? Is it an SUV? Is it a long car? What is it? A Dodge Magnum. Exactly what is a Dodge Magnum? What is it? What is it? What is it? Carol says, girl, you ain't driving no Ford Pinto. The Ford Pinto. Very small car. Tacky says, yeah, when I listened to the call and she corrected herself, I was like, no. Oh. You know, I had, oh my goodness. Last night, I got a chance to talk to some people and it blew my mind. And the crazy part is I can't really tell y'all because it would be breaking some HIPAA laws. Those of y'all who know what HIPAA laws are. And Yeah. No, actually, it wouldn't be breaking any HIPAA laws, but I still can't. For those of y'all who know me, I'll put y'all on. But I talked to a math teacher last night. He's a math teacher in a retired math teacher in the Philadelphia public school system. It was absolutely the most interesting conversation that I've had this week, and probably in a long while. It was something else. Show was, and I'm thinking, and one of the most interesting things that he was saying was his transparency when talking about the things that can be brought up in board meetings for the school district of Philadelphia. And now this is a white teacher. And he didn't appear to me to be no super liberal, but a lot of the things that he was talking about, we were definitely on the same page about. Like, he doesn't feel like the public school system is doing, he doesn't feel like their curriculum is conducive to people who aren't going to college, which are most people. So he was like, even with the trades being taken out of school, he said that that's just the curriculum. Like, they're not doing anything to help these people to become anything wherever they are. He agreed that they're not putting together a learning process that will help them to go back to their neighborhood and help their neighborhoods out. He wasn't talking about, higher education or any of that kind of stuff. Like, we're not doing anything to help people when they go home. Nothing. He said, we have this academic curriculum, and our kids don't know how to do shit, not even be able to take care of their own kids. And he said, that ain't right. He said, but if you bring that up in a board meeting on the school district of Philadelphia, you're going to have a problem. And he says something about Karl Marx. And I don't know if y'all know who Karl Marx is, but Karl Marx is pretty much the father of classism. He talked about classism all the time. Now, when Americans bring up Karl Marx, the buzzword is communism. So, so you can't speak from that standpoint. They want communism. Cold War. That energy. He said, but there is definitely classism in the United States, and it was built on that, and it's even worse now than ever before. So now, what this retired math teacher had me wondering was, I wonder if he would have been this forthcoming during the time that he was teaching math. Was he exercising his Fifth Amendment while he was teaching all those years? Or did he share? But it was an interesting conversation. I really didn't want to leave. We hadn't emptied the box out. But I knew that this man had to have been educated on some type of level, because the way that he expressed himself and explained himself, I was like, the hell? And then when he told me he was a retired math teacher, I was like, oh, okay. Oh. Instantly, I was ready to talk, like, because he's used to even being a math teacher as opposed to like an English teacher or history teacher. He still has to find a way to communicate with his students by standing right there in front of that class and being able to dissect each the mind frame and the disruption tendencies of each student in that class, regardless of their socioeconomic background, personal background, mental background, and all that. So it was good for me. Shout out to you. Guy. Math teacher Guy. Bobby Hill, she say Barbara. Barbara. Thanks for coming on through. Appreciate it. The right to remain silent. The Fifth Amendment. I ain't gotta tell you nothing. I ain't gotta tell you nothing. I ain't gotta tell you nothing. I don't got to tell you. I ain't gotta tell you nothing. I ain't gotta tell you nothing. I ain't got. I clicked it. It did like. That's what's up. That's what's up. Appreciate it. Thank you. The right to remain silent. Do we teach our kids the Fifth Amendment? I know that we teach our kids to exercise the Fifth Amendment when it comes to our family business. We don't want our kids telling their friends and telling all their neighbors what's going on inside of our houses. Yeah, my dad had to hook up the water when they cut off the water. He had to hook up the water. And my dad had to hook up the electric when they cut off the electric. My dad, he hooked up the cable. We got the cable, got the box, hook up the cable. We don't want anybody. We try to make sure our kids exercise their Fifth Amendment. Matter of fact, sometimes we just don't even tell our kids what's happening because we know that kids will share. You know what I mean? Some slick ass grown up and get a child by themselves, get them comfortable, give them like an ice cream sandwich or something like that, and the kids just start talking. You know what I mean? I do anything for a Klondike bar. I tell you anything for a Klondike bar. Shout out to ice cream sandwiches. I actually used to like ice cream sandwiches. And I don't really like things that have chocolate in them. I ain't gonna lie. I've never been a chocolate guy. I don't understand women in the whole chocolate thing, but it is what it is. But I didn't like chocolate ice cream. I ain't like chocolate milk. I ain't like nothing chocolate flavored. I still don't, really. Not that I don't like chocolate, but I like chocolate by itself. I don't like chocolate flavored nothing. I don't like chocolate cake either. Is chocolate cake even chocolate flavored? Is it just brown? Is it like a placebo? Do we just see that it's the color of chocolate or the perceived color of chocolate? And we just be like, oh yeah, it does taste like chocolate. Does chocolate cake really taste like chocolate? Does it? What up? Yeah, don't scratch these shorts. What do you want? Huh? You think I was talking to you? What do you want? Come here. Boom, got. I'm being lazy. How old are you anyway? When I got Crystal, I don't even know how old she was. She wasn't a kitten. Yeah. For all I know, you was a senior cat. You was a senior cat. Good kitty, nice kitty, fun kitty. 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 Good kitty, nice kitty. All right. More out the way. But yeah, teaching our kids to exercise their Fifth Amendment. Sometimes we put too much weight on our children to make them exercise their Fifth Amendment. Sometimes we do too much in front of our children and we instruct them to keep too much in. And it's not fair because it's a form of abuse. It can be a form of neglect. It can be a form of it can just be unfair. You know what I mean? You're violent around your kids or towards your kids, and you telling them not to tell nobody. Sounds very predator-like to me. It's not right. It ain't right. It ain't right. And on the flip side, a lot of these kids today have been telling on their parents, snitching on their parents, and getting their parents jammed up. But was they telling the truth or was they lying? You know what I mean? That's the question. You gotta handle that. Gotta handle it, Roy. Handle it. Carol says you gotta give today's kids more than just cream, more than ice cream. They want Nikes and Gucci, etc. Well, not my kid. I wish I could. I wish that she wanted Nike and Gucci and shit like that. I can handle that. My kid be wanting something like an ant farm or nothing. And I mean nothing. Like, yo, Yanni, what you want? Nothing. You know you can have anything. All you have to do is let me know. One thing my parents never ever told me is that they would give me anything, or I can ask them for anything. They definitely put limitations on it. I've told Yanni to her face, anything you want, let me know. I'll make it happen. You know the answer I got? I'll let you know. I'm like, am I being punked? She's 17 years old. What kind of child don't? What the fuck? And it's consistent. She don't ask her. She don't ask her grandmother for nothing. Her aunts for nothing. Nobody. Talk about exercising your Fifth Amendment. I'm getting nothing. Nothing. So I don't know. Anybody else got a kid like that? Anybody? Anybody? I don't know. I don't know. One thing I do know is that it's time to do the birthday shout out. Birthday shout out. Fifth Amendment birthday. Barbara Hill C says Moon is laid back. I'll tell her what to ask for so she can give it to me. That's how it would have to happen. Emily says, let her be great. She knows if she need or want anything, she can come to you. Well, see, that's the thing. When somebody exercises their Fifth Amendment, you don't know if they know that they can come to you. Because in all honesty, Emily, being able to tell somebody something, whether you're telling them what you want or whether you're telling them what you did, it shows trust. It builds trust. When you know that you've only told one person something and then you never hear about it again from anyone else, you know that you can trust that person. You know. Now, if you're the type of person that tells a bunch of people as if you've only told one person something and then it comes back to you, then that's all your fault. But when it comes to your children, if your children don't speak to you, you don't know what they're thinking. If your children don't ask you for anything, you don't know where their desires are coming from. You don't know. You don't know. And I don't know. For me, that's a problem. If I don't know what you want out of life, how can I say that I know you? Think about that. If I don't even know what you want, if I don't know what makes you tick, if I don't know what makes you go, how can I say that I know you? I don't think I can. I don't think I can. So the people who are closest to you, if they don't tell you anything, you have to kind of assume that you're not the person that they think that they can trust with information. Maybe that's just the way I feel, but I do feel that way. Because everybody wants something. Everybody desires something. Everybody is thinking something. But you only tell the people that you think that you can trust what's going on with you if it's protected material, if it's sensitive material, if it's delicate material. So that's where I am with that. Lori Page, Laureen, what's going on, ma? Good to see me, some of you. Whoa, 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 whoa. Laureen says, you know how my kids were very giving, not takers. That's an actual fact. They were. I never saw them asking for shit all the time, you know. So I don't. But they did talk. You know what I'm saying? Like they did talk. And still do. Carol says, one of my grandsons is like that. Material things don't impress him. So even if it's not a material thing, there's something out there that they want. It might not be a thing. It could be another thing, a thing in the form of an idea, a way of life, a feeling. Everybody wants something. The things that you want are the things that are leading you to become comfortable. Emily says, and yes, my boys were like that when they were young. Okay. TK Wright says, I have two like that. I just buy what I see they like. But at least you see what they like. Ding. Barbara Hill CC says, oh, you saying the only way I get it from you is through asking your baby girl? Cracking the hell up. Damn stingy. No, I ain't stingy. No, I ain't. It's easy to get something from me. But I'm going to exercise my Fifth Amendment on that. Emily says, wait, let me tell you what I need. I need $100. You know, you got to put the dollar side and no, don't worry about it. My brother Ansel Jones is in the house. What's going on, my brother Ansel? Shit. Barbara Hill CC says, my youngest doesn't ask for anything. Yes, she's very expensive. Car insurance, parking tickets, tows, cell phones. It sounds like she asked for something to me. All right, let's do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious July 21st, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box, Dana Stevenson. Happy birthday to you. And Jasmine Gunter, turning 42 years old today. In Brooklyn, Nyla, happy birthday to you. And Phyllis Smith, turning 62 years old today. And Dorothy Parker Pettiford, turning 64 years old today. And Beatrice Masui Malobi, happy birthday to you. And Bernice Wallace, turning 43 years old today. And Mike Worm, comedian Mike Worm, turning 35 years old today. Damn, nigga, you only 35? What? Nigga, what? Well, happy birthday to you, young boy. And also Jacqueline Miles. Happy birthday to you, Jacqueline. And last but not least, comedian Kareem Green. Kareem Green, happy birthday to you. I wanna say happy birthday to all y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person born on this glorious July 21st, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on it, do the damn, rock out, rock on it, do the damn, rock out, rock on it, do the damn thing, you do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings, you do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, exercising your Fifth Amendment. The thing about exercising your Fifth Amendment is that, well, first of all, you don't have to talk to anybody. You don't have to say anything to anybody. You can keep whatever you want to keep inside. But just understand that the social ramifications and sometimes the emotional ramifications of that are that people don't think that you trust them if you don't tell them something. If you don't share a part of your life, then people who are closest to you will feel like they aren't really closest to you. So it can almost make it seem like you are being fake around them. Listen, I don't make the rules. I only enforce them. I only sometimes just, well, I don't even enforce them. I just, reveal them. Like, listen, these are the rules over here. Now, look, you can break any rule you want. Just understand that when the man comes and all that, you're going to have to explain yourself because you already knew what the rules were. I'm showing you rules. It's all. So sharing with people lets other people know that they are a little close to you, and people who are close to you want to have confirmation that they are definitely close to you. So you might have to tell them a little something, but if you don't want to, you don't have to, and you can exercise your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Right to remain silent. You ain't gotta tell nobody nothing. That's right to remain silent. Right to remain silent. You ain't gotta do nothing. You're bluffing. You can't act like you want to talk, but don't say nothing. Yo, you got in front of the mic, didn't say what you like, didn't say that you had a pair of Adidas and Nikes. You said, yo, I'ma go get me a Schwinn bike and I'ma ride all around the world, but I ain't going to meet nobody that I want to tell nobody about my girl. I ain't going to be the own man. I'm going to be my own woman, going to make sure that I have talked to a shaman and they can give me some advice for my life and make me get in better health and increase my wealth. The self is what I'm going for. I do a tour through drawers and talk about the floors and the walls. Do you understand the mic to my right? It could have been to my left. It's kind of deaf. I left you behind, but I caught on up. You caught on up like a worm. Yup. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. for another daily Go Get It. It's actually the Urban Therapy with Sun show. Don't worry about it. All right. Don't worry about me, son. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. All right, y'all. So Blog Talk, we gonna get you out of here. Yeah. And for my YouTubers, you know just how we do this. Thanks for coming on through. See you on the other side, my boobers. 1, 2, on the other side, my boobers. Peace. Yeah.